Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Keegan, and welcome back after a very long AFL off season. And welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to the Supercoach Diaries for 2018. As always, before we do anything, make sure you like this video, subscribe so you don't miss any of the videos on this channel about Supercoach heading into the new year. I'm excited it's back, I must say. It's been a long off season. Arsenal are being pretty average, to be honest, so I need to look forward to the AFL season, even though the Suns aren't very good. But that's how it goes, and Supercoach is one of the things that really does get me excited for the football season. Before I show you the team I've sort of picked, because for some reason, and I said this last season, I've got Supercoach Gold for some reason. I don't know why I've got it or how it's come from. I've never actually paid for it. But anyway, I've got it. So I've got the 2018 team picker all there ready to go. Before we do that, though, I thought I'd show you how I finished up last season. If you did miss my last video, I'll quickly go over what happened last season, where I ended up, and I'll show you my team for the upcoming season. Okay, so here is how I ended up last season. So I ended up at a season rank of just over 20,000. Now, if you watched my episodes last year, you'll know that 20,000 was my goal. Under 20,000 was my goal. So I wasn't too far away from that. So this season, I'm setting myself another goal. I want to be in the top 15,000. Now, will I get there? Who knows? But I reckon the top 15,000 is within my ability level. I'm never going to be in the people that are in the top 100 or the top 1,000. But top 15,000, I reckon, is a pretty realistic goal. And as you can see, I actually won the Big Footy Gold Coast Suns board Supercoach, which was nice. Yeah, so we're going to go into Supercoach Gold Team Picker now, just to show you what I've looked at and the team I've sort of started to pick for the upcoming season. So here's the team. As you can see, as for the rookies, I don't want you to take much notice of the rookies. They're gonna chop and change depending on preseason, AFL X. Never thought I'd say that. All the preseason games, all the reports heading into the actual season, and finally the round one teams. So I'm not going to worry about the rookies too much. I may talk about one or two, but what I'm mostly going to talk about is I'm going to talk through some of my selections in the main team, or in the premiums in the team. Alright, so starting from the back line, I've got Yeo, Laird, Hibberd, and Hanley are the 4 premium priced players. Yeo had a really good season last season. He was actually, you could select him as a mid last season from memory, so he's purely a backline player now. Really solid. Hopefully he continues on from his form last year, and hopefully he has another big season. Laird, more of the same really. He had a few games here or there where he was a bit all over the shop, but overall he had a pretty good, I think he averaged pretty well in the end. If I look for Laird here, he averaged 100 last season, so if you could average 100 again, you're pretty happy with that. Hibberd, again, down here, he ended up getting an average of 99 off 18 games. Now, I'll admit, I was pretty late getting on Hibberd. I got on him when he was probably a bit too expensive. So I'm on him from the start this year. If injuries all go well, I think that he could be a good chance. And then the other one I've got here is Pierce Hanley. Now, as I just mentioned before, I'm a Gold Coast diehard. And I think Pierce Hanley might have a good season this year. Last year, he had a lot of issues. He had the family issue he had to go back to Ireland for, and that puts his fitness back weeks and weeks and weeks. Then he comes back and he hurts himself. So hopefully this is a return to form for him. The Suns think that he's going to just play predominantly off halfback now, his preferred position. Him running off halfback for us, I'd be pretty happy with that. If he does do that, he could be scoring pretty well. He's cheap. He's only 428,000. He's someone that I've thrown up, and someone that I'm considering. Whether I think that he will be there all season, who knows? Because of the Gold Coast and Port Adelaide game in China, they've got a very early bye, so I might have to think of taking all the Suns players out of this team, even though Hanley at the moment is the only one. Suns and Port players, and might have to put some others in before the bye. But at the moment, Hanley's in there. I think he can improve. Just a special mention for Alex Johnson, who's had years and years of injuries with Sydney, and Sydney have stuck with him. I'm hoping this year that, for his sake, he can get back on the field and get his career back on track. But I've got him there at 102,000. He probably might sit on my bench. He's cheap and he has scope to actually play if he gets a few games under his belt. And who knows? All right, into the midfield. Midfield, a lot of the midfield picks itself, really. I've got Dangerfield because Dangerfield. I got Mitchell. I got Fife, who started out pretty poor last year. Sort of didn't really hit those high notes, but I'm pretty happy with Fife there. Then you've got the likes of Cripps, who was off last season. Hopefully he hits peak fitness. He'll be one that I may change. At the moment, I'm going to stick with him because if he hits his best, then he's an absolute monster and he'll be a good pickup at that price. And the last sort of premium price person I got there, Zeeble. Now, the reason I got Zeeble is because I had before I had Will Brodie from Gold Coast as a rookie, but when I finished my team, I actually had about 350,000 left over. So that left me enough price to get Zeeble, and I think if you can see, I've got $2,000 left over. So I decided to get with Zeeble because Zeeble had a lot of injuries last year. And hopefully this year he's got over those injuries, especially in North Melbourne midfield, which will be lacking a fair few players. He'll be the main guy in the midfield. A lot of the ball will be going through Zeeble. So hopefully that means big points for him. But who knows? Again, depending on injury, he might come in or out. And the last one I want to talk about in the midfield is O'Meara. I had him at the start of last season and I got bit because after the Suns game in round 2, he was out for 8-9 weeks or something. And he came back and he played a few games towards the end, which was good. And hopefully he's hit peak fitness. Well, for Supercoach, as a Suns supporter, I'm still a bit cut up about that. But hopefully for my Supercoach, that O'Meara can find some form. And at 315,000, he has a lot of scope to grow. So I'm going to stick with him, or depending on how round 1 selections go. Into the rucks now. Paddy Ryder was a big pick for me last year. I stuck with him pretty much all the way through. I think I flipped him forward once or twice when I needed him to fill a gap, but this year he's only a ruckman, so there's no chance of that happening, so he's sticking in the ruck. And the other ruckman I've gone for is Max Gawn, who injured himself halfway through the season for Melbourne, and so that's why his price isn't probably as high as he would if he played a full season. So I think there's great value on Max Gawn if he comes back fully fit. Ryder's more of your premium pick, but Max Gawn for me is a pretty big value pick. At a full season, I think last season he started around 600k, so it's 100k possible growth for Max Gawn if he hits top form, and I think he might as well. Down to the forward line. I've got a few interesting picks in the forward line. Heaney, I reckon he's out for a breakout year, Heaney. At the moment, he did go through. He's going to be missing a month of preseason because of a sort of very small minor surgery, but still, it's a month of preseason miss. So Heaney might find his way out of the team, and he might be an upgrade target later on. Robbie Gray played most of the season in the forward line for Port, injured and pretty much underdone. So this year, Robbie Gray should hopefully be finding his way into the midfield, be getting those midfield points. Stuck in the forward line, he's only a forward line player in Supercoach, so I reckon he'll be getting midfield numbers, but predominantly as a forward line. I think Robbie Gray is one you must lock in straight away. And the last one I've got here is Rory Lobb. Now, the reason I've gone with Rory Lobb, he's going to be a ruckman. He's going to be playing in the ruck for GWS this year with Mumford retiring. So at Lobb at 396,000 is, I think, a very good pick because he is going to grow. He's going to be getting midfield minutes. He's going to be getting hit outs. He's going to be getting ball around the ground. He's going to be getting big pack marks around the ground, and he might even sneak forward and kick a goal or two. So I think he's a pretty good pick. And the last player that I sort of want to mention in the forward line is Harley Bennell. Now, he played a few games towards the end of last year, and I'm hoping for his sake, as a Suns fan, I do want to see Harley Bennell do well. So I'm hoping that this year's his year, that he sort of kicks on and he starts finding some of that form. I don't think he'll ever become the player that he could have before all the injuries, but he could be still a very, very good player for Fremantle and someone that Fremantle will definitely want to get up and going. So that's it. That's my team. As I said, rookies can change and probably will change between now and the start of the season. But I think that team looks pretty solid. If I was to give myself a bit of criticism, I think that I need to probably work on my midfield. Maybe switch one of Cripps or Zeeble to a rookie and then get an absolute out-and-out gun as a midfielder over Cripps or Zeeble. Probably Zeeble, to be honest. Trade Zeeble back down to a rookie and upgrade Cripps. But that's probably the only thing I would say. Maybe someone like do I get Dustin Martin in? Like, I almost need to. So maybe that is something I need to do in the midfield, is put Dustin Martin in there somewhere. But I'll look on that as the season gets on. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you some ideas. Do let me know in the comments below if you've got any sort of criticism, any sort of ideas that you think I could do to this team. At the moment, I understand that it doesn't probably look absolutely prime. I haven't really been paying attention to a lot of preseason, so I've missed a lot of reports and who's training well and who's out. So if I've got any glaring errors there, please do let me know and help me out. Because with your help, guys, last season I came 20,000. With your guys this season, I hope that I hit 15,000. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you later.